Hello everyone, as you have seen, I have a new knitting pattern for you. Toe-up socks using fingering weight yarn. So let's see them. If you're looking for the link to the pattern, I'm going to put it down below. On Ravelry you can find my patterns. And normally when I publish the pattern, I have a coupon code for a limited period of time. So when you're watching it, check that out. If you are a member of this channel, so if you clicked this button at some stage, remember level 1 have 10% discount code, annual discount code for my individual patterns on Ravelry, and a level 2 has 15% discount code for my individual patterns through the whole year, so there is no pressure for you. Let me tell you the construction of the socks. I'll tell you the yarns and maybe at the end idea how I come up with this design. Normally I don't share stuff like that, but you know, I think this is quite cool. The construction of this pattern is toe-up sock. It is knitted for fingering weight yarn. However, we have 4 sizes over here, and if you've knitted socks before, I can tell you we have 48 stitch sock, 56 stitch sock, 64 and 72 stitch sock. So 4 sizes, and if you've knitted socks before, you know with let's say 48 stitches you can grab a thicker yarn. I would even go with a DK or holding fingering double, and I could knit the same size for myself than I knit with 56 stitches using fingering weight yarn. Obviously with a DK and sport I would use less stitches overall, so finish socks quicker. The gauge is 32 stitches by 40 rounds. That's my standard thing for fingering weight. I use US size 1, 2.25 millimeter knitting needles, but you grab your ones either to match the gauge, or you've knitted socks before and you know what kind of yarn works with what kind of needles and your tension, and you feel fine. That's why I like to say that we have 48, 56, 64 and 72 stitch sizes over here, so you can pick the one you normally knit. As I mentioned, materials, I suggest normally 3 types of yarn, and so knit picks, heather, drops fable, and also Yorkshire spinners. Maybe Croy may have some fingering, or Raja may have some fingering yarn that it's like, you know, tonal colors if you're looking for fingering weight yarn from that lower budget. However, you can mix things with leftovers. This is what I did over here. However, continuing with construction, toe up, we started over here where we're knitting tube and we're marking for the heel. I have on the second sock recorded a tutorial how I pick up stitches for the afterthought heel and how I cut the yarn when I want to do that on the collar work round. So hopefully you're going to have this on this channel. Hopefully I won't forget to link it over here, like just in the eye, because I haven't made it yet, just in the eye, and you can check definitely tutorials. I have a playlist tutorial, so if it shows up over there, I probably update the pattern, maybe add a link over there to that tutorial soon. If you purchase the pattern, thank you so much, and probably you may get an update in the future, finger crossed. Yeah, but if you end up on any other place, there is already a tutorial standard afterthought heel, because once you cut that one, separate the ends so you have them to wave in, you insert afterthought heel after knitting, you know, after knitting, all that stuff. So my afterthought heel is the one that you cut the yarn. However, you may heard that afterthought heel could be also when you placing a waste yarn and you have to then pick up stitches and so on and so on. So for me, that's a little bit too much hassle, the cutting. It's quite enjoyable and I love it so much. And at the end of the day, once I finish it, I can always change my mind where to put the heel. Yes, in the pattern you also have a few links to a few tutorials. Hopefully I will grab your hand and walk you through it. Let me tell you now about the yarn that I used. I used my leftovers, and I have this lovely little speckled yarn. So this is my, for instance, suggestion to use on the background color, something a little bit different if you have a yarn like this, and then do the contrast colors in unicolor yarns. So we started with the brown, this lovely one. And then I moved to navy, and I used Knit Picks over here, navy. Then the background for me was orange, and I used Yorkshire Spinners for that, 06. And then I was looking for some dark, maybe darker than this will be even better because it pops nicely. And then the design I'm going to show you in the second sock that I knitted the thing. I use this turquoise color, but would I say that's a good choice? And I'll show you maybe why not really. If you look closely, those yarns have a little bit of a nicely woolly feeling. And because I'm sitting in front of the window, it does not reflect the light. This yarn, however, does reflect the yarn. I'll show you why. So here it is. It is very tightly spun, and all that fluff is kind of removed, very thin, and it doesn't close up the sections between the V-stitches. Let's call them a little bit more hairy yarns. They will nicely tuck in together, they will grab each other, and they will create lovely, lovely texture. Go for it. I was just wanted to really a blue over that, I don't know why, and I was looking for a really dark one. However, we're talking about very good contrast. For this pattern, you may see this one. So this is exactly the same thing, and as you can see, so here it is, lovely one. As you can see, looks beautifully comparing to this one. And this is because it's used with the yarn, like I mentioned. This is Knit Picks, I think feather over here, and I think the blue might be also Knit Picks. This navy, I think maybe even the same one. No, not the same color, but something similar. And that's that. I hope you enjoy this one, other sock patterns that I designed, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!